Hello everybody, my name is Ryan or MandRproductions and welcome to my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2005 ARC-170 Starfighter. Its set number was 7259. It included 396 pieces, 4 minifigures that you see before you, R5-D4, and 3 clone pilots of the Phase 2 version, obviously. It costs $40 US, so a pretty good price per piece, and again, came out to coincide with Episode 3, so it's a really cool set. There was later in 2010 a Clone Wars version of this set released, but this is the only Episode 3 version. Now, my favorite thing about it was the price point. $40 was an amazing price for this set with 396 pieces. It worked really well. It's got some really neat printed pieces, some great minifigures, and some good features. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures. This is the clone pilot included with the ARC-170. It's actually a pretty darn good looking minifigure. Even though it is now 12 years old, it still holds up today. Of course, it's got the older Episode 3 helmet, but I actually really like the old Episode 3 helmet design. He's got a lot of nice little prints on there, including the Republic insignias at the top. Nothing around back though. That's something you'll find lacking on these helmets. You don't even get the print past halfway on the helmet there on the top, you can see. On the back though, on the back of his torso, you can see a nice little print as well. Pretty detailed for the 2005 era, so I'm pretty pleased with it. It's a great minifigure in all, and on top of that, you get 3 of them in the set, so that's pretty darn cool. And underneath, you'll just find a plain black head with no printing on it. Again, this was 2005, so it was very rare to find a printed head under a helmet, so that is the clone pilot minifigure. This is R5-D4, who is pretty much R2-D2, but in red. You can see, obviously, this is the earlier R2-D2 type model, R5-D4, and you can definitely see with the helmet, or the headpiece, or the dome piece on him, that it only goes like halfway down, because back then the printing did not go all the way down to the base here. It stopped about halfway, so it's a really simple print. It's kind of a letdown as a minifigure because of that. I feel like it makes it look a little bit weird, especially when you compare it to the newer ones of the astromech droids. So with that being said though, the middle part here is absolutely stellar. It looks great, looks very, very good. Just the top dome part looks a little bit odd. So let's go ahead and move on to the ARC-170. Starting with the front area of the ship, we have this nice little area here that comes to a point. I think LEGO did a great job with this design. They used that kind of method there to get that to work, and I think it worked really well for the time back in 2005. It created a very nice looking design. Looking here, you have this printed tile here to give it that curved green look, because obviously you can't really get that with any other piece, so I think they did a good job there. It was a good idea to include that with then dark green tiles behind there, leading into this pilot's area, and that's where you're going to be able to put the first Clone Trooper pilot. And the way to open that, unfortunately, it doesn't open like the other two with a hinge. It just pops off like that. The whole thing, the whole assembly pops right off. I believe these are actually supposed to stay on here when it pops off. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's supposed to pop off like that, and then in there you have a very basic area for a pilot. No printing, nothing like that, no control panel rather. So it's a little bit of a disappointing pilot area, but he does fit in there nicely. He's going to fit right in there perfectly, and you may have noticed a little area behind him. Well, that's where you're going to be able to insert some bombs to be able to drop from the bottom of the ship. So you can see there's this little space here, and that's going to lead right on down into a compartment inside, which is going to allow you to drop some bombs. So putting the bombs inside, they're just translucent dark blue pieces like this, and you just drop them in there. Sometimes they will get stuck. You can kind of see it got stuck there, so you'll have to open this up and give it a little tap, and hopefully, oh, okay, give it a little tap, it'll get down in there. And again, we'll drop another one in there, real easy. To release the bombs, all you have to do is pull this at the back, so you just grab onto this red thing and pull it back, and they're going to fall out of the bottom here, so you'll see when I pull it like that. So it's a pretty neat little feature. It's very simple. It was easy to build, and it just works very well. I'm a real big fan of it. I think it works well again. So big fan of that. Working our way to the middle section, we're going to see our area where we can put the other clone troopers. These both open like that very easily, and then you grab onto this to open these other two panels and get full access to the inside. You'll notice there is a spot for R4-D5, as well as some printed bits here that look really nice. So you'll know that your clone troopers have guns with them, so your guns are able to sit off to the side here, which is really nice. and it's going to have space for it when it closes, which is cool. You can also see it uses a picture of a droid Tri-Fighter, which when I was younger thought was an Imperial shuttle, but it is the droid Tri-Fighter on that little control panel, and there's the same control panel on the other side for the other clone trooper as well. You're going to have to keep them regularly or relatively vertical sitting because otherwise R5-D4 will not fit in. Or is it R4-D5? Uh-oh, I'm getting it mixed up now. But anyway, you can get them seated in there, up on their post, and allowed to, ready to fight. So getting R4-D5 in there is really easy. You just pop them down onto the pieces like that. You close up the side. So with everything closed up now, you can see it is a little bit weird and awkward. The pilots' heads are just in between with no space in between. So it's a little bit weird in that regard, but it's enough space to get a little bit of left-right movement, and it does close up nicely to give you a good look. So again, these translucent pieces allow you to see through to the minifigure as well. On the back here, we have a couple of printed tiles as well, or pieces, parts, whatever you want to call them. They look pretty darn neat. I am a big fan of them. They're just kind of unique, and we've never seen those prints since then. On the back, we also have a little gun, which isn't much. It's not like it's a stud shooter or anything, because this was 2005, but it's really nice. I actually do like it. It's a very simple gun, unlike what we would get today with like a spring-loaded shooter, stud shooter, whatever, flick-fire missiles. So they did a good job here back in 2005, giving you a simple gun with this translucent blue bit at the tips, which I like. And zooming out, I can now show you the main feature of the set. Obviously, you have the guns on the sides like that, but other than that, you can put the wings into attack position by swinging this to the right or to the left, or rather spinning it. So you'll just spin it, and they will open up slowly but surely. And it's all a mechanism inside of the ship opening these up, and you can see they open up into attack position, and it looks really darn cool. Like that. So I'm a huge fan of putting it into attack position when you're flying it around or displaying it. It just looks so cool. The ARC-170 does like this. So it's a very nice design. Of course, you have the big engines up here with the prints on them on either side. These can spin if you want them to spin. It just is kind of a cool additional thing you can do. Not really advertised as a feature. You just have to loosen it a little bit if you want them to spin very well. But it's a pretty neat set. It's a very cool set. For 2005, this was one of my favorite Episode 3 sets. I actually had 2 of these back in the day because I liked them so much, and I might have broke one now, but it's a very cool set nonetheless. Definitely worth picking up today still if you can get it for anything like as a regular retail price and under 40 bucks. So it's a very cool Star Wars set from Episode 3. Again, definitely worth picking up if you get some of the other Episode 3 sets. If you guys enjoyed, please hit that like button. It would be greatly appreciated. If you have anything to say about this set, comment it down below, and subscribe if you haven't already so you know some more of my future LEGO videos. If you are already subscribed, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.